We are live. We are live. What's up and what is going on, everybody? We got an excellent show for you today. I'm going to be joined by my man Sub Zero 36. I'm always mess up his numbers. 3639. I was about to say 365. I always mess up his number, but Sub Zero 3639. We're going to be getting in here, going to be getting into this. Shout out to Logan JJ coming through with the first comment bright and early. Says 2023 is our year. I'm hoping so. He said, when I was going through my divorce, your channel, BR, Coach Greg Adams, RIP Kevin Samuels, Minister Jap, Mr. Palmer, and a few others have really helped me. Keep up the good work. Absolutely, man. I love to hear stuff like that. So shout out to you, Logan JJ. Shout out to everybody. I already know what to do. Hit the like button, whether you're catching this live or whether you're catching it after it's uploaded. We about to be getting into this. I titled it, tongue in cheek, Black Men Are Winning, because there's a lot of people to be doing content, saying that these women are winning, or these 304s are winning. I'm trying to keep it clean. These 304s is winning. And, I think this male space kind of came into existence because we realized that men were kind of, losing some footing. So I didn't think that to be that fascinating of a statement, but we could lose sight of how men are winning or how men can win in this game. So we about to be getting into a lot of that. So strap on in. Let's get ready to go. Let's get
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
What is up? What's going on? What's happening? Good people. We back in here with another one. Make sure, like I always say, make sure you hit the like button whether you're catching it live or you're catching it after it's uploaded. Shout out to Logan JJ. I love that comment that you made right there. I read it once, gotta read it again. And I'm breathing heavy because I had to go run and do something while the intro was playing. Shouldn't be breathing heavy after 1 minute of running, barely even 1 minute. But anyway, 2023 is our year. When I was going through my divorce, your channel, BR, Coach Greg Adams, RIP Kevin Samuels, Minister Jab, Mr. Palmer, and a few others has really helped me keep up the good work. I love reading stuff like this. Shout out to Logan JJ. Shout out to Just Being Jazzy podcast clips and crafty ideas. Shout out to Black Frank White in the building. Shout out to Brenda Muema in the building. He says, good morning, everyone in BR. I do believe black men are and will win because they are being exposed to the truth. Absolutely. Shout out to Domino King, B1 Funky Town, Texas. All right. Mr. GQ Smooth in the building. Good morning to you. And last but not least, shout out to 843 Slim Vision in here. So shout out to everybody in the building. We about to go ahead and get right on into this. About to bring up the man of the hour. This I don't even know if he even realized this, but I'm gonna jump it. I'm gonna jump it off with this. Sub Zero actually made me some money one time when we was about to do a one-on-one, and we was talking on the phone prior to the one-on-one. I think this may have been our first time doing one, and I don't even know if you realize it that or remember that you was the one who told me put some money on AMC. It's about to blow. This was in June. I think it was around June 4th or July 4th or somewhere
No,
probably
it was
about
May.
June.
That was May. That was May.
That was May. Wasn't it June 6th when
It
it
was
went up to
May.
like
Yeah, because the
$78?
run up was in June.
Oh, okay, all
Yeah,
right. So it was like late. It was
but I
late
told you in
May.
May.
Okay, you told me late May. Put something on AMC. Yeah, I put about 6,000 on it, and I swear it seemed like 8 days later. 8 days later, it shot up to like $78, $72 or something like that. So yeah, I definitely made some money. I kept something on there. I ain't gonna lie, I pulled something out. I know we weren't supposed to do that. We supposed to be holding, but I saw that money. I had to grab a little bit of it though. So yeah, you definitely put some money in my pocket. So I gotta formally thank you for that if I hadn't before. But welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the show.
Hey, glad to be here, brother. Glad to be here. Hell of an intro. Just glad to be here, bro.
All
Thanks
right.
for having me. Uh, they deleted my channel, but I still
Yeah.
got my other channel. But hey, I'm here. We breathing.
Yeah, we're not even gonna get into
Yeah, I ain't
why
gonna
your
say nothing.
channel got deleted. But I know why, but we ain't gonna talk about that today. I know why. I know you kind of got some little big Nate issues when you start going in on the wrong stuff. you kind of run into those problems. But no, definitely
That's
glad to
what
have
happened
you
when you
here.
fight the powers. That's what happened when you fight the powers of darkness. Shout out to Little Big Nate.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Sir Tice, my man. Sir Tice in the building says sub in the building. Tell him we winning because we don't follow. There you go, Joe. They don't follow Marxist victim ideology. They push on us. Bernie, check the cash. Absolute. I'm at the gym. Right on, Sir Tice. I need to get out the gym. I've been in the gym consistently, but I missed like I missed last night and the night before last. So I definitely got to get in there today. I've been trying to get back on it and be consistent. I see y'all in the back. I got y'all. We bring y'all up in a second. But all right, let's get into it. Let's get into it because I was just listening to the stream that you actually did last night, and um I'll let you lay out the background of that because it was some of your personal story in there that you
Bro,
were talking about that I really like. But I'll
I
let
guess
you go ahead. I'll pass it to you, let you set it up. Go ahead.
I guess I'm really kind of like right now galvanized by what I've seen happen lately. It was an organic thing. I'm not gonna say it's by my design, but I run Lift in the Veil IT Academy, and I basically had a class I've been teaching for years, and we basically have like a group of brothers, about 3 or 4 brothers that stuck together, and they didn't got jobs. 3 of them actually, the 3 brothers that stuck together, they got a job. All of them are over $100,000. They interviewed with me by October, and just last week, pretty much the last one got a job. So this is something that's good because this is black men sticking together, helping each other. When I initially started Lifting the Veil IT Academy, I was doing it for $400. I was teaching like 3 months straight. I was just trying to give back, not really charging a ridiculous amount of money. I was even taking like $100 down or just whatever. I was just like, man, I'm just trying to help people. I really don't care. And so I would teach a class for 3 months. It might make like $4,000, $5,000. I'm teaching 3 months, 5 days a week, and people started getting jobs, man. And I was able to really help people to really matriculate into that 6-figure income strata. And you talking about a fraction of a percent of black men that even make, maybe like 3% of black men that can even get north of 6 figures in a year. So I'm pretty proud of that, but I'm also thankful and humbled by it, by the effort I see by my students, because they have become some of the best developers I've seen. These guys have really, they starting businesses. Shout out to Ant. That's another one of my students. This brother is starting his own businesses. You got, brothers working 2 projects now, making $250,000 a year. So you can, and that's what we're doing. So that's where I'm at right now. That's what we're doing. We're starting class on January 23rd. This class will be about data analytics, which I'll kind of get into later, but that's what we are.
When you talk about that, I notice when people be talking about IT and all of that, it's like it seems as if they kind of just flippantly say 6 figures, something that most people gotta do a lot or put in a lot of work or go to school and go to school for a long time and get in a lot of debt and the whole works to even get in that area, But when I listen to people like you talking about it, it seems like it's a barrier to entry, because that's one of the things black folks and black men always talking about. Oh, we can't do this, or we can't. That they're blocking us from this, old boys network, or this something. But when you talk about that, you talk about it like it's just man. You just got to do this, that, and this, and yeah, you could be making 6 figures like that. So let's talk about the how seemingly, I don't want to say low of a barrier of entry, because anything that gives you success is not easy. You got to do some work, but it seems like it's fairly easy to just get in there and start running
I'm
with
gonna
it.
tell you.
So
I'm gonna tell you
go
like
ahead.
this. You're looking at about 3 to 4 months of class and probably a couple of months extra of just studying on your own. Passing our interview process is actually probably not even gonna be 3 to 4 months. What we've done now is we've basically removed the gatekeeper that was students struggle with that. And so what I'm doing now is we making it streamlined where you guys can come in, learn a skill set, get out and be interviewing and get a job, right? And a lot of jobs have to do with data analytics and report development, which is basically aggregating the data within an organization and basically providing that information to within the people within that organization so that they can make informed decisions about that organization, right? It's like creating a joystick to control something, right? That's what it is. That's what I like to call business intelligence. That we're removing the ETL processes out of it. And right now we're just focusing on data analytics, which will be Tableau. It'll be you know what? Go ahead. If you could let Damiete up, because he's out hiking. So if he told me he would just jump in for a second. This is one of my students,
Oh, okay.
Damiete. He was he's been, me and him talk all the time. He called me. We talk about different stuff. But go ahead, brother. Go ahead and tell your story.
All right, hold on, really quick before we pass it to him. I just want to say the link is to the chat, right there. Hold on, I just dropped it in the chat room. Now that's the link to your website. That's basically how they can, anybody who's interested in your class, they could click on that link and they'll be able to go from there and essentially, you know, see about any information they need if they're interested in signing up for your class. They can find the information at that website. Sup?
Yeah, I'm here. Damiete, you
Okay.
there?
Yes, can y'all hear me?
Hello? Yeah, go ahead.
Can
Go
you
ahead,
all
Yep.
hear
brother.
me? Okay. Well, good morning, everybody. I'm out here in Atlanta. I'm hiking today. I'm about to go ahead to grab a bite to eat, but I did want to come on because Sub asked me, and I feel obliged to do so. Just a quick story about me. 2020, I was working security. The pandemic was going on. I mean, I didn't get anything but that little $1,200 they sent out. So I was working that whole year and really didn't get anything. And I knew about Sub's class like 2017, 2018, but I didn't really jump into it until like about end of 2020. And I had a whole transformation after that, guys. Like the security was finally paying me 15 an hour, after about 4 years, and that wasn't enough. And I finally pulled the trigger and said, all right, I'm gonna do Subs class. I jumped in. He told us what it is. It was a month on this, a month on that, month on this, and it benefited me because I was working overnight, so I could study. I could put the work in and study. So, man, I mean, I did everything Sub do to the T. I just, whatever he said do, that's what I did, because I knew he knew what it took to succeed. And probably around after a year and 6 months, because that's just how long it took me. I finally landed a role at this company out in Swanee, Georgia, which is north of Decatur in Atlanta. And, you know, I went from 15 an hour, which is like what, I don't know, 25, 30K a year.
30 grand a year if you work 40
Right.
hours. Yeah.
Right. So I went from that to I did my first interview. They brought me in for the second one. And then they had the third one in person at the office. And then a week later, I got a offer letter for 75K. So that's my story. I mean, literally changed my whole life because I was getting older. I'm 28 now. So I was like, what, 26, 27 at the time. I was just like, yo, you can't have no family or no woman or do anything if, you ain't making no money. And that's just what it is. So I had took it on myself to just finally pull the trigger and make a decision like, okay, what can I do? Because I was in school, out of school, in school, out of school. College just really wasn't kicking it for me because it just wasn't moving at the level of learning that I want to move at. So when I got in the subs class, I say it all the time to everybody I speak to, I fell in love with learning again. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just, pass the test, pass the quiz, but then it turned into, all right, here, this is what you got to do, learn this, I'm gonna teach you that, and you got to study your own. And in the end, the job is waiting for you, basically. A career, I should say, a career is waiting for you, not a job. And I've been rocking ever since, man. It's been actually had my anniversary in December, so it's been a year now that I've been at this role. I'm trying to see what sub got going on for the next class because I want to jump in again and get my sequel up because I'm coming for six figures too. I'm coming for the $250,000 a year too. So, it's just, if anything, I will say, man, it's definitely possible to change your situation, make more money, and live a better life. Like it's within your grasp. Because again, I was making 15 an hour, and now I'm at 75K a year. So it's like, you can't tell me anything is impossible. And
From the time that you took the first class, to the time that you started your first day working, how much time went by right there? How much time went by right there?
like I said, that was about a year and 6 months because I was studying. I was and then towards that end of that first year of studying, then it's like that last 6 months, I started interviewing because I was like, okay, I know how to do SQL, I know how to do ETL, and it came to the point where, all right, you got to just jump out there and start interviewing. And I jumped out there, I hit my head a couple times. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, but you learn from all of that to where you can get 1,000 no's, all you need is one yes. But it took me personally about a year and 6 months. I know some dudes that did it shorter than that,
Yeah,
but
I know.
in
I've
general,
heard a
that's
lot
what
of
it
people
was for me.
saying, 6 months, 4 months, and all of that. But yeah,
Right. Yeah,
no
about a
doubt.
year, 6 months, what it took for me, man, and it's history ever since. So.
Well, let me say this too. Everybody's different.
Right.
Damiete did a lot of studying. I think if I remember correctly, I used to be like, man, go ahead, man, you ready? You passed the interview. I think when he passed the interview process, he wanted to study some more. Am I
I
correct?
feel
Because
him.
I got so many people that but what's weird is like, and I always do this with every class. I send a actual after about 3 weeks, I play an actual interview from real companies. And when I do that, what happens is the students, after about a few weeks, are already competent enough to understand what they're talking about. And they're like, oh man, they actually, we actually got what he was saying. And so what that does is, for one, it boosts their confidence. Secondly, man, I just realized the ebb and flow and going on all these job interviews. And I mean, I got fired a lot. I screwed up a lot. And I noticed there was always a certain set of questions. There's always a certain ebb and flow to the interview process to get you in the door. Once you know that, you once you have that skill, you become confident. You relax. And when you do that, getting a job is like, it's like taking candy from a baby. I mean, it takes, obviously, the first time is always the hardest, like they always say. That's the most difficult time. But as time goes on, you'll be able to, matriculate into the industry.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
good
that's
stuff.
true. That's definitely true. I mean, after a year, I'm still learning things, and I mean, I'm just grateful because it's been a year. They didn't fire me. You know, gave me an office. You know what I'm saying? Get a little bonus money for Christmas. You know, so it's all cool. So, but again, my parting words, man. Anybody can do it, man. The sub is one out of a 10 million that's actually trying to give back and help people, man. Like, you don't find many people trying to really help and giving it to you at an affordable price. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to part with, man. I got to bow out. So.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for
Hey,
coming
brother,
through.
I
Thanks
appreciate it,
for,
man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for telling your story, man. Thanks for telling your story. Yeah. So we got some more of your students in the back. And Sir Tice, I put that link in the chat for you if you caught it down there. I put the link in the chat for you, or Sub. I know you said something about you wanted to. You could send him that link directly to his email if you want it that way.
Okay.
But we got some
I'll text it.
got some more of your students in the back. Got some more of your students in the back. Like the student testimonials, you know, that shows you do this for real. You do this for real. People be on the internet just talking, but Sub actually do this for real. Actually getting brothers on their way, making some real serious money and life changes. So that's definitely what's up. But who we got down here? I seen Laundries and Python Don. Boy, these YouTube names be killing me. But Python Don. I'm gonna start with Python Don because of that name. Man, go ahead. What's the story of a man named Python Don?
What's up, fellas? Well, my name is actually Charles. Python Don is just that goes by my side effect things I do on the side. I used to mess around with pet snakes, but anyway, I've been with Sub. It's going on about maybe 6 months total. I started with Sub as far as getting in the book. I want to say in May. Went through all the sections of the course. We had to do 3 different sections. Throughout our throughout our class, we also created a study group that we would kind of make sure we were keeping our minds on to that night, because none of us had any previous experience in this. I have no tech experience. I did go to college, but it had nothing to do with tech, mathematics, statistics, none of that. So a lot of people, that's the thing that kind of keeps them for a barrier to entry. So just know that anybody can get in this. I also have a family. I have 2 children, and I had a full-time job at the time. So time, it's not too much time. It's really about the focus. I say I put in about an hour to 2 hours a day of work at the most, and just stayed the course, just like Sub told us. And just long story short, I started in May. I finished with Sub in October, and within 3 weeks, I had a job. It was 6-figure position. Not entry-level position. I'm in a position now where I am over people who have master's degree and twice the knowledge on paper than me. But the way this course is set up, Sub gives you the actual details and the meat that you need. You get to skip all the concepts and the fluff. And in this industry, people actually appreciate someone who goes through a boot camp style learning, because it shows your go-getter attitude and you actually coming in to actually do some work and make a difference. So I can only speak highly about this course. It comes with the access to a network of a lot of other people who have went through the same thing. So they willing to help you. They willing to give you references. They willing to help lead you on the way to get you where you need to go. I think that's why I was able to do it so fast. I wasn't afraid to reach out and talk to anybody who could help me. I was on the phone with people. I was interviewing people in the evening, just trying to get to that bag. And like I said, I made it to 6 figures. I almost doubled my income in less than 6 months with less than 2 hours a day. So
what was you doing prior to this?
Prior to that, I worked in research and development. So it wasn't a horrible job, but it was kind of a dead end job. I have a background in research, so I worked in there. I was making about 55K, but it wasn't much more that I can do after that. And I was pretty much going to have to stay there for $2 a bonus every year type deal.
Yeah.
So this was something a lot of people don't know this, but I had a plan to leave that job anyway. I had some money saved up and I was going to go the trucking route, because my whole plan was to go entrepreneur in real estate. But obviously you need capital to get there. So my goal was take this money I have, get me a truck, put my head down and really grind. Of course, like I said, I have a family, I got children, so that was going to be something that I was going to have to sacrifice. But we had an issue, family emergency that kept me from getting the truck. That made me really just say, you know what, I need to take this LTV thing serious. And honestly, now I'm making the money I would have made with the truck, but I'm working from my home. I work about 5 hours a day, and I'm making six figures. So I'm gonna have plenty of money for investments, plenty of money for my bills, and now I have the skills to not only work now, but I can continue to learn these new softwares and technologies to keep growing my income.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. Yeah. Like I said, like I see it scrolling down there. Yeah, go to that website. Go to that website if you're interested. I got it in the chat room and I got it scrolling down there. If y'all are interested, in pursuing this, getting set up with Sub-Zero's classes, definitely go and do that. Definitely go and do it. I'm trying to find it. All right, there it go. There it goes. So yeah, I just wanted to put the link in there one more time. Now, Sir Tyson hopped on here moving around. You know your connection about to be bad. You about to be
No, it's
lagging. You
not.
about
No,
to
it's
be
no, it's
choppy.
not. No, it's
You
not. No,
already,
it's
it's
not.
already scratching. You just then hopped up. You could have stayed in one spot where you was at.
Nope.
You're gonna.
Bro, I can't leave the gym and go to my car to where it's quiet. You know.
Okay, you're on your way to the
All
car.
right.
Okay, you're on your way to the car. I'm gonna go to the other brother when you get there because there was a
All right.
little,
Uh,
little rumbling in the background that outside.
you want me to
But
share
no,
my testimony, or you want to the other brother?
well, I'm gonna go to other brother real quick while you
Okay,
get
gotcha.
stationary. But no, but
All
go
right,
ahead,
dope.
do your thing though. Do your thing though. But who we got in here? Let me make y'all names pop up. Let me make y'all names pop up so I can see y'all names. But what's your
That's
name?
Landreas.
Landreas. Okay, cool. Landreas, what's going on? How long you been how long ago did you take Sub-Zero's courses?
Morning, gentlemen. So I've been with Sub off and on for about 3 years. Yeah, I say about 3 years now. So I was one of the old students that started personal things came up and left, and he allowed me to come back and actually finish. So one thing about him in the program, I can't speak any more highly than him. Can't sing his praises enough about him in the program there. He really stresses, um, you know, increasing your human capital and getting the skill set that actually pays there. He basically takes you by the hand and downloads. He's 15 years of plus of experience in IT, and he basically lets you know everything that he actually knows, and you actually learn all the pitfalls that he ran into, so you don't actually have to go through them. Um, so through a lot of hard work and perseverance, I was able to gain a skill set that's going to pay me for life. It's something that no one can actually take away from me. And I got a lot more options, a lot more doors have actually opened up for me since then. And I just actually been placed with a job here, with a remote job. They're going to actually fly me out where I can actually meet everybody, and I can't speak any more highly of it there. So, a lot of doors have actually opened up for me.
That is what's up. That is what's up. Before I
What's
go to
interesting?
go ahead,
Go ahead,
Sub. Yeah, go say yeah, Sub. Oh
No,
yeah,
what's
Sub. Jump in
interesting?
whenever you want.
What's interesting? Charles in the bottom right, Python Dunn and Landreas, and another brother by the name of Thad. They were a study group. I always encourage the students to work together. Hey guys, y'all need to work together. I always look at it. I always talk about like it's like a Black Wall Street. Like we work together. It's a symbiotic thing. Everybody works together. You have a network. I have a network of developers that I've trained. A lot of them now are starting to want to come back and teach and help other students. So I'm building a network. It's not just what I know. And from what Charles was able to obtain, Charles came in a mid-level position and is over people that are like have masters and know more languages and have certifications. Not one of my students got a job because they certified. We don't focus on certifications. We focus on being good at what you do, knowing how to interview, and knowing what you're doing once you go into the job. I've been fired. I've screwed up plenty of times. And I try to create a nurturing environment because we as African American, especially men, need more than just, okay, let me give you a 7-day boot camp. This is months of immersion, where you might get a 2-3 hour night, or you might get a an hour and a half night. But we do this sometimes 3, sometimes 5, depending on the instructor, times a week, and we really try to drill in these students' heads. We make sure that if you can't pass our interview process, we don't want you going out there. I've had a few students do it anyway and got jobs, but for the that's how, I'm not trying to brag, that's how potent it is. You can get a job without even passing our interview process. But if you really want to be successful, go through the process, make sure you follow instructions. I always tell students, first thing I always say, follow instructions. If you follow instructions, you can't lose. These two, Landreas and Python, were taught by students of mine. In fact, one of the brothers is in the comments, Marvin, he taught some students. They actually were taught by him. So now it's like getting generations and generations down the line from me, which is like, and I have a ministry background. It's a discipleship. That's what it's about. That's the thing. Jesus told Andrew, "Follow me, and I'll make you fishers of men." That's what we do. It's not just. I'm not just focused on trying to help men. I'm not just focused on black people. But that's just the lane that I've fallen into, and I'm not like gonna be like shy away from it and be like,
No, right.
I want to get white people. I want to get
that's
Asian.
That's a good segue, Sub, for me. Bernie, can I go?
Let me say one thing. Jay Everything asked the question. He said he lives abroad. I'm gonna play a commercial about a brother I taught in Benin, West Africa, and he's gotten a visa and has been flown to Canada. All through the work, he would call me on WhatsApp. I helped him get his resume, helped him get everything, told him what to say, and now he's in Canada right now working. He's from Benin. So I taught another brother. I taught another brother in Australia. I don't think he got a job, but because he kind of quit. But this other brother I taught in Taiwan he's in Singapore now, but I taught him. So I teach people all over the world. So go ahead.
I was just about to say, you're speaking a language now. If you making it clear that if you can make that money on your laptop, that laptop can go with you anywhere. Yeah, I can be over there in them foreign countries with them foreign women, still making your bread on that computer, and then hitting that beach. Yeah, you speaking a language now. You speaking a language with that. But hold on, we're gonna go to Sir Tice real quick. We're gonna go to, but no, well, remind me something after I get through with Sir Tice. I do want to ask you about, y'all kept mentioning the interview process, so I do want to ask some more about that, if that's something real.
What happens? Okay, so what I don't want to do, like, I give you lectures. It's nightly lectures. We don't believe in chat teaching. We believe in you can unmute and audibly, just like you hear me talking, ask questions. Hey, Sub, I don't know that. I don't understand what you were saying. Can you go back over that? You don't have to type anything. You can unmute, talk. I give you my phone number, text, whatever, right? Once you go through the process, we do 3 to 4 months, depending on the class. After that, we have an interview process on Wednesdays. That interview process encompasses you coming to us, and we drill you, and we ask you a lot of tough questions. Now, I give you note cards with all the interview questions already printed out. So all you got to do is just study but you have to be competent. I don't want you just memorizing. So a lot of times people will fail because they'll memorize the note cards. I try my best. Yes, the note cards are what's going to probably get you a job a lot of times, but I want you to really know what you're talking about. So I give you scenarios, and I say, okay, let's say I do this. What's going to happen? That type of stuff. I want to make sure that you are competent. So this is why a lot of students, they do fail, but I want them to fail with me, not in the interview process. And so we've removed the toughest piece, which was SSIS. That's Damiete's specialty. Now, you're probably better than me at it. But we've removed that now. So now...
From the sound of things, it sounds like when you get on one of those interviews, they're going to drill you with questions to basically just to probe, to make sure you know what you're talking about, make sure you know how to actually do this stuff. That's what the interview process sounds like to me. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's it. I don't want you coming from here. Look, man, I'm like Marlo Stansfield from The Wire. My reputation is important. So for me, it is, that you are competent. You can come into these meetings and these stand-ups and you know what you're talking about. Now, the website is www.ltvacademy.com. Can you share the screen and show it?
I'll put the link in the chat too.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
no,
share
I've
my
been
screen and try to show it. Go ahead.
putting the link in the chat, but no, share your screen and show people the website. But yeah, I've been dropping the link in the chat room too, and it's scrolling down there. But it's probably easier to just.
I put it in the back chat, the private chat too. Just if anything, if you need help with that. I just want to say this too. Yeah, it's funny. Sub was talking about SSIS. I'm glad I got it before he he took it off. I grandfathered in. I got the grandfathered in account. But I just gotta say this though. What everybody is saying is true. I'll be honest with you. I would say there's like maybe the Sub is probably one of the 5 smartest men I probably ever met. Honestly, Theo is included, but Sub probably one of the most
Shout out to
smart.
Theo.
Yes, one of the most smartest dudes I ever met. The man is, you could pick his brain, and the great thing about Sub, along with Theo though, but with Sub is that he's humble about it. He's not. You don't feel as though you're bothering him. You don't feel like you're annoying him if you ask him questions. I was in the class. I was in the class last year, and I was in the class and going to college as well. But then I had like COVID over the summer, so that kind of set me back. However, I was still with the group in the sense of it was almost like a family kind of thing. And people were like, oh, what happened to you? Like, where did you go? You know, we still have the group on Facebook. I'm still in contact with other people. So I'm just I know what it takes to get to that interview situation in terms of like being questioned, like the CTE stuff, learning how to do like like SQL stuff and what have you. I know how to do all of that. I just need to be able to be comfortable with going on the interviews. But with Sub's help, you'll be comfortable. Like you won't have he'll drill you harder than actually honestly than the interviewees. Because when you hear the interviewees ask questions, they ask stuff that we learn in like the first month. Like what's a common table expression? It's like, well, we learned that in like the second or third week. You know, so he like in the ways like baptism before through fire, he pressures you enough to the fact that when you go on interviews, like you'll be getting like 2+2 questions when you've been doing trigonometry. You know, if that makes any sense. You know.
No, good stuff. Good stuff. D's D's cuts. Oh my goodness. He says, "Is that link correct? It appears there are missing letters. Do we have to have certain hours of the day available, or is it flexible on our own time?" I have no idea what the brother is talking about.
Okay, so the link is, I think the link is, you can share the screen if you want to, but
Oh
the
yeah.
link is
Let me
the
move that.
link is available in the chat. It's www.ltvacademy.com. You can book a free consultation. If you want to talk to me personally, book a free consultation. When I do the consultation, I'm like, hey, save my number, text me, call me, whatever. You know, I always make myself available. When I first started this, I didn't have a lot of resources and a major company behind me. So I was like, you know what? One thing I can do is give you my time. And at the time, I think I had like, 8-9 years experience of IT development. So at this point, if you want to, learn anything or come in, man, just call me. Just call
It's
me. We'll
worth
sit,
it.
we'll talk. And let me say this too. This is my motto. I'm a big proponent. I went to Tuskegee University. Shout out to all the HBCU alumni out there. And right here, this is my favorite saying from Booker T. Washington. It says, "We will prosper in proportion as we learn to dignify and glorify labor and put brain and skill into the common occupations of life." Booker T. Washington was always about learning a skill and being good at your skill. And in life, you'll find that nothing will be able to be withheld from you. So we're definitely, shout out to Hoop Jargon, shout out to my boy. But yeah,
Hoop.
we this is me. Yeah, this is me. This is our video. I mean, what we're doing right now. We're doing data analytics. That's what's coming up. And we did Salesforce, we did Oracle Financials, we did SSIS, SSRS. But we're removing SSIS. Well, I don't say we're removing. I'm basically I passed the first certification for data engineering. I'm going to train a class on how to pass the certification for data engineering because those jobs pay a lot of money for like 3 years experience. And so right here, you can see just the Tableau course that we're offering right now is actually Right here, here's a job, $70 to $100 an hour. We have, let's see what else. Here's another senior job, $60 to $85 an hour. So I always tell my students, look, get a job, work one job, become competent at that job, and then after that, double up. You working from home, get you another job, right? Once you know your schedule, I work 2 jobs right now. So that's how you can get to $250,000 a year. And that's that. Now, let me answer the question about the hours of operation. We are usually 8:30 at night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and on Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. If you miss a class, everything's recorded. If I log in right here on the website, and if I go up here and I go into the member portal section right here, you can go see here. These are all the recorded classes. I got T-SQL. This is the Oracle class. You have access to that if you want to. Now, that's a lot. That's a lot of information. My brother went through like all 12 modules of Oracle. It's very, very in depth. This right here, the SQL classes, we got the Salesforce. So these are the recordings. You click this. This takes you over to where you can watch all the classes. This is the SQL right here. We got a Facebook group. So if you miss anything, we even do labs as well. So these are the labs that I did. Okay, so this is anyway, but these are all the different labs that we do. So if I give you like, okay, guys, for class, next time we come to class, I need you guys to be able to do this, do that. I'm gonna give you a script. I want you guys to run it. I want you guys to start uploading, creating your own reports, whatever we do. And then we spend maybe 30, 45 minutes going through it. And then I go on and teach class. Like I said, class is the reason. I'm a communicating type guy. I would love a class. I wanted to give you what I would have wished somebody would have gave me. You know what I'm saying? And so this is the thing. Like, I wish I paid $15,000 to learn what I learned. I didn't have to do that. I could, if somebody had been out here teaching this and holding me by my hand, helping me with my resume, doing the things, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know. I've seen students go on interviews, and what we do, we record interviews. So I've seen students go on interviews and say stuff, and then they'll call me and be like, "Oh, I'm going to get the job." I'm like, "No, you're not." You're like, "Why?" I'm like, "Because you said this, 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 and this." And that's what I do. While I listen, we record interviews. We don't. I have a motto. I'm like, look, we don't play fair at Lifting the Veil. We trying to get you in there. I learned this from an Indian. Actually, a lot of this stuff I learned from people from India. They have companies in India where they can go and pay $300 and get a master's degree. They can get somebody to go take a certification test for them, and then they can get a job and get a visa and come to America. I have seen it. I've been on projects and seen a lot of people doing what they got to do. You know what I'm saying, to be successful. So
yeah, and I've been saying black men need to learn how to legally get away with cheating and going to come up and win.
Well, what's funny about that is we love to talk about how we love to finesse. So why not finesse it in the legal world? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let me take the mic. I get a second workout in. What up, Sub?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Yeah, what's good? Man, I'm about to get the second workout in, So let me give an endorsement, Bernie, into the audience. And by the way, happy MLK Day for you all who aren't working like me, so salute to that. Let me give Sub another endorsement. It's not because he's a personal friend of mine. I had a girlfriend who was a teacher for about 25 years, right? And she was just completely burnt out. Late 40s, 50s, or what have you. Then that's the time when they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, right? Well, she's been asking me years about IT, and I've been kind of telling her, and she was trying to figure out what angle to get into. And she was going to get into, what's the testing thing? I can't think of the testing, not load testers, but whatever. But I was like, that's not a lucrative area to get into. I said, you know what? I got a friend I need you to talk to. And I was like, well, she didn't want to do the cloud stuff. So Sub had a Salesforce class in the summer, and literally just a conversation between he and I was just actually sports shit, right? And she happened to be here that time, and she was talking to him, and she signed up for his course. And it's for Salesforce, by the way. So I've been kind of tracking her, like, hey, how you doing? The course is over. She didn't pass the test, but she only didn't pass it by like 1 or 2 points, and she's retaking it this week. So basically, and she's like, she feels totally confident that she can do it, and she's ready to jump in the spirit. So again, I'm giving, and by the way, it's a woman. So as he said, it's not just, for black men or what have you. He's doing this for everybody, and just want to give him a salute to that.
But it's worth pointing
I
out, and I
appreciate
asked
it.
him
I
this.
appreciate it, bro.
I can't remember if I asked him off the air or I asked him earlier in the show that he said 70% of his students are black men. So either way it go.
Well, I have a theory on this one. I have a theory.
But I like
that
though. I like that, and he shouldn't shy away from that, because I mean, clearly there's a void that needs to be filled. So
yeah,
I'm okay with him
that,
targeting black men to get into
right. I think that in the IT field, because see, y'all were kind of touching on this, and I've been in this for 25 years, and I could speak on it till I'm, till the cows come home. I think the first brother, the one who was a 28-year-old y'all had, when he said he figured out his zest for learning, that's exactly it. And I think that men generally, we love to like build things, so much for black men not build, right, naysayers. Anyways, so we get this concept of starting from scratch. Whereas generally speaking, women, they want things either already somewhat assembled or complete. I know it's a stereotype and I'm generalizing. And that's why I think a lot of women don't gravitate to the technical things of technology. Yes, we know that there's women in technology. Yes, we know that there are women developers. I'm not saying that. But for the most part, it is suited for men who want to start something from scratch, understand things, have lots of thought processes, learn how to figure out things. So that's why I think we tend to more gravitate towards it. But just one more thing, I'm just so happy with what he's doing and brothers jumping into this, because as he said, I'm going to share one more brief story. I remember I had to take a certification.
Tice, before we get another story out of you got like some bad staticky, some static in the background. So yeah, if you could fix that. You can fix that. I appreciate it. But hold on, real quick. Let
me take out my earbud.
Yeah, do that. But these cuts. Okay, cool. These cuts in the building says email address or contact info to schedule a consultation. This is what we're here for, right?
Okay,
here. So
I can be reached at bg@ltvacademy.com, or you could just go to the website and click this. I drew the screen in so you can see it. It says book consultation, and you'll go straight to my calendar, and I can sit and talk to you. I'll call you. There was a brother earlier talking about race, saying that race was a hindrance in this industry. I'm gonna tell you right now, race is not a hindrance. If you are a competent database developer, it is not a hindrance. I have been doing this for years. Have I ran into racist white people? Of course. But I'm telling you right now, I have worked with racist white people. But guess what? My check cleared every Friday. Right? Yeah, I'm working with a guy now. I'm working with a guy now who I don't even think really likes me, and he always has something slick to say. But guess what? They gotta pay me, and I get paid. So it doesn't matter. My students, this question was asked last night, and my students, I asked each one of my students, have you run into racism? No. Or I ran into people that were mean or did something, but you really, a lot of times, and you have to be kind of as a black person, specifically us as black men, we need to learn that sometimes people are upset because you probably didn't do something right. And so I had to learn how to remove my emotions and say, okay, did I screw up? Yes. Okay, so they're probably upset because you screwed up. And usually when you call people and communicate and you making sure that their job is done, people don't care, man. I'm up here as a living witness. Every person I've taught, every black person I've taught that is went out here and got a job, they say the same thing. I've been doing this for 14 years. So racism in IT is something we need to stop letting the racism, white supremacy, victim ideology reign in our minds so strong that people are missing out on opportunities because they want to be a victim. And I'm not trying to start a political conversation.
Yeah. I'm with you. 100% on that.
And I want to answer one more thing. I want to say one more thing.
Yeah.
Somebody said that Salesforce doesn't pay well. You may work with Salesforce, you may get reports. Salesforce pays very well. Like I have my students were taught by somebody, and anybody that's in IT that works in IT in this class can vouch for this, that even knows Salesforce, you talking about $100,000, $130,000 right here.
Easy.
Salesforce administrator.
Easy. Yeah.
Salesforce, like a Salesforce administrator,
Who said
120 to
that?
190. It's somebody, and I'm not trying to knock them. I'm just saying, just because you get reports and you say it's not making that much, doesn't pay well. There's every skill set I get on here. I don't want you going out there getting no done $15 an hour job, right? I don't want to waste your time. If you come to Lifting the Veil, the goal is 6 figures. The goal is $2,000 a week or more. If we can't do that, then if you fall short, you close.
Can I say something up to that?
You 90.
I want to say,
go ahead, Azrael. Just hold your thought real quick. Let me get to these super chats because I think they're asking important questions here. But Woke Quill in the building. Excuse me. Woke Quill in the building says, any idea for projects for resumes? I've done basic. Y'all got to help me out with that. What is that?
Tableau.
Can't read it.
Tableau.
Tableau.
Like tab and then low. Yeah.
All right, Tableau stuff with data I've scrapped and a few Google collab projects, but not sure what's enough. See, that's where the question can go over my head. So, Sub, I'll pass that to you. I'm assuming you understand it.
Tableau, yeah, Tableau is what we're about to teach now.
Okay.
Tableau is actually owned by Salesforce. They were purchased by Salesforce a few years ago. But these are the jobs, and I've been doing this for years. I don't have one student making under $70,000. They don't make my students don't make no $70,000. So that's about the lowest they'll get. So when people say that they're making, like, I see this person Aaron, he's probably just trolling, but he's saying that, hey man, you only make $40,000. Yeah, good luck.
Hey, moderators, look, wait, time out. Moderators, if somebody comes through some bullshit, Aaron B, I think I know you. What you don't come here with some bullshit. Hey, moderators, anybody come here trying to do some, you know, we got haters all over this space. This is ridiculous. Time they ass out. All right. I ain't got time for it today. How
can you hate on this kind of
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I ain't even entertaining it today. Normally when people come in here, I have fun with it. I stop the show, click on their comment, and sound off on their ass. But no, we ain't doing that.
He's saying allegedly that's in the UK that you don't make a lot in Salesforce. Hey, but with that being said,
Azrael, let me go real quick because I got to get this workout going. It was something. First of all, on the racism point, why do some of you brothers even? I'm not saying you guys on the panel, but why do you think that way? Think of it like this. These Indian guys are coming to an entire new country where they're disliked and they kicking our asses, right? Do you think they give a damn about racism? So why should you? That's the first thing. The second thing about those guys is this. I remember one time I had to take a certification. I said this at the Manosphere meetup. I had to take a certification, right, for our team so that we could be marketed as we're all certified professionals. It was a BS cert, or I thought it was. I could do everything with it, right? And one of the guys, his name was Venkat, came to me and said, hey, you having problems? I would do my Hindi accent, but I'll just get the story out. But he's like, hey, you having problems with this certification? And I'm like, yeah, because I was doing some of the practice tests. Man, he came back to me and sent me an email. It was filled with all the answers. And I'm in my head like, how the hell did you get this? And he said him and 4 of his Indian brothers would go to the testing facility, take the test, because it was a revolving what is those test calls where the answers change periodically? I can't think of the term of it. But it was a revolving test. So each week they would basically take the test, compile their information notes, and then basically they would have a database themselves of the answer, and then they would use that to get their brother certified. That's what I'm talking about, what we need to do as brothers, black men. I used to work for Office Depot headquarters, which is down here in South Florida. And they built a development right across the street from it. And man, it was nothing but Indians living there. That's how much they were able to infiltrate that. And I think that we can do that. So just want to give you a salute, Sub, in what you're doing. And these goofies in the chat who got something negative, say, let's time them out or whatever, because this topic is just way too positive for us to be joking on it. So salute to you, Bernie. Shout out. Thanks a lot, Az, man, for letting me jump in front of you. My bad. I'm just got
no problem. Shout out to your Detroit Lions too. I gotta say that. Hopefully they'll make it to the playoffs next year.
Yeah, that's what's up.
I want to say this it definitely have to be trolls, because let me tell you something about Salesforce. SQL, yeah, you could come out making like $40 an hour starting with sub. But to be honest, when I look at Salesforce, they starting, I don't see nothing lower than 125, 150. When I was looking at jobs last year, like at Salesforce, they weren't charged. There was nothing under 125, 150. You could get a 120, 125, 150 job in Salesforce easily, right? It just takes the proper coaching. But that's to be honest, that's where they're really starting. I want to say this also too in terms of sub. Like I said, subs one of the most humblest and yet smartest men I know. He is not. This is not a cash grab for him. He's not about taking your money. Like literally, he's when you're in class, he wants people to answer questions. I mean, ask questions, and he wants to know that you got it. Like he'll take out time individually for each member of the class and be like, "Do you have it? Do you get it? Does this make any sense?" And like sometimes a lot of people, especially black people, might be timid because this is a new field. Most of us are not in the tech field, and most of us don't have parents that are in the tech field, right?
Mhm.
So we're technically first generation tech people. So sometimes it might feel daunting, but he's not the type of person where you're not afraid to ask him questions. Even now, like I had stopped, and then I'm trying to get back into it because I really want a job. I really would like a job before springtime, and I still hit up stuff like, hey, I'm still working on my interview. Like I'm still making sure I prep because I'm in school and I got other stuff that's going on personally in my life. But I always tell him like, hey, like I'm not giving up on this. I'm still gonna make sure I study well in order to try to get this job honestly before springtime. And he's always sending encouraging texts like, yeah, definitely hit me up when you're free. So he doesn't make it seem as though, oh, I was just in it for the money and I'm just taking your money. Like, yeah, sure. You know what I mean? If you have questions, if he doesn't get back to you today, he'll get back to you literally tomorrow, like the next day, like the next business day. He's all about making sure that you get it. It's not about the money for him because trust me, he's making enough money as it is. This is more of him giving back. And I also want to say this too. We're about to get our tax return. For the self-study course is less than $100. For the everything that's included, we're talking about sales, we're talking about SQL, we're talking about even a self-study together, that's less than $400. There's no reason you
I
can't.
was just about to get into that. I didn't know if Sub-Zero even wanted to get into that, but that was my next question. So I'll let Sub explain it. Like, what's the typical cost that is going to run somebody getting into your courses from beginning to end?
It's $297. It's $297 a month subscription based.
Yeah.
I don't have it where you can, obviously it's time I have to pay the instructors and stuff. So, if you just call me or text me, hey sub, I'm gonna cancel. I go ahead and turn it off. If you like a day or so after, I give you money back. I don't really, we don't trip. I just don't want nobody coming. I've had students take the class and go file a credit card dispute and get all their money back. Like I've seen. So it's just it really hurts when that happens because bro, we be up to 12, 1 o'clock in the morning sometimes, bro, and it's painful when you really like. I had a student take my whole class for $50 one time, and I was really hurt because he was talking about me. And I'm like, bro, I went and looked it up. He gave me $50. I was like, dude, you never even finished the rest paying of the rest of this was when I first got started. And that's what made me say, let me go ahead and make it a subscription and make it $297 a month because people were taking advantage of me when I first started. And even though I was trying to help and give back, I was like, well, let me make it a subscription and really try to turn it into a business. If you talk to some of my older students, they'll tell you, I kept saying before they deleted my channel, you'll see those old videos on my channel where I was like, this is going to be my last class. I'm not doing this. It's too much time. It's too time consuming. I don't mind helping people. But people kept reaching out. People kept calling, texting. And I couldn't tell them, no, if you need help, I wasn't going to be like, no, man, I can't help you. Like, no, I'm going to do the best I can to try to get you out there and help you as much as I possibly can. So that's what I did.
I gotta say this, you're not gonna find that, and I don't even want to bring it up to race, and I don't really have issues with white people like that. I don't, but you're not gonna find no one going out of their way to try to help you, like how sub. Like I literally have, if I want to talk to sub and ask him questions, I can. Like I could text him, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Even his older alumni, they're still in contact with him. So to him, this is more of a passion and drive to seeing brothers in particular to win. It's not. And what I was saying before you went to sub is like $300. I'm like, if any of you brothers are serious, you can't just, if you say, oh, you got the money, whatever tax return that you get, take that and use maybe 2 to 3 months time for sub class. Just try it out. The class is usually between about 4 months. So, it just take the tax return money that you were going to get, that you knew you were going to go and trick off on, or you want to spend buy some couple of Jordans on, take that money and go into subs class. I'm telling you, it's where I had to stop because I had gotten COVID over the summer, but I got back on the self-study course earlier this month. And I'm ideally thinking about going back into the live classes as well. But I just know that for 300, if you the return on investment, $300 a month to get a 6-figure job, like you can't really beat that.
Right on. Light Bearer Council in the building says, at my job right now, we are in desperate need of SQL engineers for the government program. I was going to teach myself. I may take this course. Hey, the links are in the chat room. The links are in the chat
call
room.
me.
Go
Let's
ahead
get on
and click
the
on
phone.
that
Let's
link.
chop it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Code still in the building with the $5 super chat. Appreciate that. My man Hoop Jargon in the building says, I think I'm about ready, sub. I'm gonna get at you. That's what's up. Light Bearer back in here again. He says, screw racism. I agree. He says, I am always the only black male in my jobs. We need more seasoning. SQL can ask for $70 an hour. Shout out to you. Dane C in the building says, I think we need to expand the IT conversation by talking about animation, graphic design, video editing. Always had an interest, the movie business.
Can I answer that real quick?
Yeah, I was about to just say, to what degree is that
so I mean
related?
It's like if someone say, where you're talking about getting into plumbing, it's like, I think we should focus on landscaping. It's like okay, I get your point in terms of having a skill, but first let's you gotta crawl before you can walk, right? So I'm gonna be honest with you, if you want something that's immediate, you can learn in the next 6 months, and you can start making over like 70 to 80K at minimum. Learn SQL first, and then the other stuff, the animation, the graphic design, all that good stuff that doesn't pay as much usually, use that as a hobby. You could use that, take that SQL money and use that towards leisure. Like people like, oh, animation, graphic. Like, yeah, do that once you master SQL first.
Let me say one thing. One thing I tried when I first got into IT, I tried to get on at the Geek Squad at Best Buy. Okay, I was trying to get some IT experience. Nobody would give me a job, right? I would get blown out of the water in my interviews because I wasn't competent. I knew SQL, but that was all I knew. And I learned the rest of the skills from paying a company $15,000 and kind of just siphoning what knowledge I could from my brother. The thing is, guys, when you go to these community colleges and stuff like that, can you go to a community college and get a solid education skill set and make 6 figures? Yes, you can. But those skill sets aren't really prevalent in community colleges. You'll go to a community college and somebody that doesn't know any better, you'll see graphic design adjacent to, Python. And somebody said, well, you know what? I like drawing, so let me go into graphic design. Now you're making $45,000. That's what you can make when you get out 45, 50. But, if you learn in Python, SQL, all these different coding languages, you're learning how to manage databases with database administration, you're learning, those are the skill sets that are going to pay. And for us as black people, a lot of times whenever I do these interviews and I go on people's channels, I have learned to not down other skill sets because people get really, upset when you say, hey, that doesn't pay as much. Although I've done thousands of consultations over the last 5 years, I've talked to thousands of people. I've talked to people with MBAs. People call me for consultations. I talk to 4 or 5 people a day sometimes. and 5 days a week. And I'm telling you, it's not as clear cut that you're gonna go and get a certain skill set and make six figures. It's just so for me, what I figured out was in order to put my students ahead of everybody, like not Lundrius, Python, which is Charles, he just left, but
Mhm.
Charles skipped and leapfrogged a lot of people and is in leadership within his organization because of what I told him. And I'm not trying to brag. I'm just saying because of what he learned, he was able to leapfrog that. Okay, he's entry level. We'll give him $35 an hour. No, he came in and he was able to really go to the middle of the pack as soon as he walked in off the street because of what he was told. I wish I had somebody to tell me that. So that's what we're doing. So that's how it works.
Yeah. Damn, this one just popped up. Tech Nobility, who's just sent a super chat. I'll read your super chat in a second. He says design is not as necessary as back-end development and building the systems needed to run the business. Okay, I just thought that one might have been an interesting comment. Trying to find the super chats before I lose them. Let's see, Deadly Raver. There it is. Wait, yeah, there it is. Deadly Raver in the building with the $5 super chat. He says, "Quick question: I'm old and I know nothing about." Are you really that old? Just be like, I'm old. Like, okay. Quick question. He says, I'm old and I know nothing about IT, but want to learn. Can I do it?
I didn't touch IT till I was 35 years old. I didn't start studying. I did not touch it. So yes, you can learn. I've taught people in their 50s. It doesn't matter. In a lot of these jobs, you're working from home. This new skill set that we're doing that's coming up on the 23rd is good for people that are just trying to get into IT and you're a little nervous and apprehensive about it. Coming in data analytics and creating reports is really just using what's something called data visualization, which is in a simple way, just making the data look pretty. That's what you do. You sit and you make charts and graphs but of course you have to know how to manipulate the data. In the background, we teach you that piece. We teach you the Scrum stand-up piece as far as, okay, this is what's going to happen when you get a job. They're going to have stand-ups. You're going to have to know how to do this. You're going to have to know how to do that. If they say this is what you say. If they say that, this is what you say. We give you all that so that when you get in, you don't sound like I did when I was on a project and got let go. And I tell that story about how I got let go because I didn't know what to say. Nobody told me. And so I would get in these stand-ups and say the wrong things when they asked me stuff, and they would look at each other. And Friday I get a call from the recruiter. Hey, today's your last day. I said, okay, cool. I never really tripped about it because ever since I've been in this job, skill set, in this career, in this field, getting a job has been easy. I literally got 2 phone calls this morning before we started, and it's a holiday, and so people are calling left and right. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, tell them.
Well, when Ladarius, I don't know if you wanted to add anything to that. You ain't said it in a while. I ain't want to forget about you. If you had anything to add to that or anything that was said that you wanted to comment on.
Yeah. So basically, everything that Sub says is true. He does give you a lot of purview information that you're not going to get from some Udemy course there. So you can learn this skill set from other places. But one thing that you're not going to learn is, how to talk in these interviews, what to say in the stand-ups, things like take me through a typical work day. And he teaches you how to speak the language of these people in these IT industries there, because they're pretty much personality A types there. So he basically gives you the cheat code to that whole thing, where you can actually sound like you actually have years of experience rather than coming in as some entry level guy. And you do leapfrog a lot of things. So that's basically I'll just echo those same sentiments there.
Yeah. Hey, Sub, did you play? I know you had the website up, but you was talking about commercials.
I got some commercials. Let me go ahead and play this.
We got to run the ads. We got to run the ads.
Okay, let me run this right quick. Yeah. Now, this is not really Morgan Freeman, okay? I have to give a disclaimer. This is not Morgan Freeman, so don't. Oh man, So I'm just y'all check this out.
Learn the ins and outs of IT and launch your IT career in just a matter of weeks with the help of Lifting the Veil IT Academy. an information technology academy that is created to help individuals quickly acquire the skills they need to launch an IT career that'll make them more money than ever could have imagined. Starting on January 23rd, Lifting the Veil will be offering weekly night classes covering everything you need to be successful in IT and beyond. And when we say beyond, we mean it. Just listen to what students say about us.
Hi, my name is Raheem. I took Lifting the Veil Academy with Sub, and it took a while, but I'm here. I made it. I'm now an SSRS developer. I started on the 13th, making a rate of $48 an hour, and this is it. This works. Everything that Sub has said has come true, without a shadow of a doubt.
Okay, my name is Herman. And I'm from Africa.
This is the brother from Benin, West Africa.
Okay.
Benin, West Africa. So I just landed a junior BI consultant position. So yeah. So my pay rate is a total package of 71,000 Canadian dollars.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Sabrina. I'm one of the students that was in the Denver IT Academy course. Let me put this message out here to you. So I was teaching, I've done 20 years, frustrated, just wanted a new career. And I jumped into class, learned some amazing things about coding, learned that it's not as hard as you think it is, simple, you just need to practice. Loving what I do, have the opportunity to work from home. Yes, I took a step out and went on stage. That had it not been for this course and the leader of this course and the timing, I would not be doing what I want to do. Love what I do, love the people.
Sign up for a free consultation and see where this industry could take you.
Go to www.ltvacademy.com. That's www.ltvacademy.com.
Now this is on my YouTube channel, and I was rushing for Christmas or something and said it didn't say dot, so it's www.ltvacademy.com. But at any rate, that's the link in the chat. If anybody had any questions, I have one more commercial where I'm showing some check stubs and stuff. I'll play that one and just show you guys that one. Let me see.
I just want to know how much did it cost you to get Morgan Freeman on there, man? Keep it real. Just you can charge more for your courses. You can afford Morgan Freeman. You can charge more for your course.
Hey, I was like, you know what? It was AI though. That was AI. That's a software. So
oh damn, that's cold.
Yeah, man, it's getting crazy out here.
Living paycheck to paycheck. What you were looking at is a check for almost $5,000 that I made in only 10 days. Before entering into this field, it used to.
Now this guy's doing a voiceover. This isn't. He's talking about me, but it's not me. It's a voiceover. But let's go.
Are you tired of living paycheck to paycheck? What you were looking at is a check for almost $5,000 that I made in only 10 days. Before entering into this field, it used to take me 10 entire weeks to earn this amount. I made this amount by putting my IT skills to work as a database developer. We can teach you the ins and outs of IT and launch your IT career in just a matter of months. Hi, we are Lifting the Veil at IT Academy, an information technology academy that's designed to help individuals quickly acquire the skills they need to launch their IT career. We have taught and placed tons of students in the IT industry. We will have classes starting in January. It can help you get your career on the launching pad. Don't take my word for it. Check out a few of our students.
Okay, yeah, great news for me and the academy. I got a job as an ETL developer with a company just outside of Sacramento, close to where I live. $50 an hour. It's a contract role.
Hey, how you guys doing, man? My name's Lauren. Just got an offer for 74. I guess it breaks down to $1,000 a year.
Hi, my name is Nicole. Thanks to Sub, I've been working in the IT industry for over a year, full time. Not many people can say that they started from knowing, practically nothing about this industry to being full-time working professional. It's life-changing. He guides you through the entire process. He walks you through everything step by step. It's guaranteed success. I highly recommend you don't hesitate. Just take the class. I connected with Sub maybe a couple of years ago, right after graduating out of college. Had no ideas about what I wanted to do or which direction I was going to head as it related to the job market. After connecting with him, completing a couple of his courses and a couple of his classes with hands-on training, I wound up getting my first job, making a little over $100,000 a year. The skills that I've learned have been invaluable as it relates to being able to pull myself as well as my family into a much better and a much more feasible financial situation. We've been able to do a lot more things than we ever dreamed of being able to do. And so therefore, with that being said, if you're thinking about taking this class, I advise that 100%. It's probably the best financial decision that you're going to make for yourself and or your family.
Yo, this is Charles. I'm a recent grad of the Lifting the Veil IT Academy. I just really got to take this time to preach on the benefits I got from this program. I'll say I spent a solid 3 to 4 months focused on putting a couple hours a night, and I easily have doubled my salary. When interviewing with these people, they think that I have 5 years experience. The resources that we're getting from Sub are definitely worth it, and I would definitely recommend this to anybody else. It's going to be a life-changing course for anybody that takes it serious.
The reviews speak for themselves. Starting in January, Lifting the Veil will be offering nightly classes. Don't miss out on an opportunity to change your financial situation by increasing your human capital. Sign up for a consultation. Let's discuss how we can get your career started.
All right. So, that was it. Just a couple of little ads and stuff that I had made. Like I said, I'm looking to try to really get as many people as I can in here to try to help them get their career started. We're here, we're live. Like I said, I've been doing this for years. It's really a rewarding thing to see people's lives change. And I thank God, man, that He put me in this position to be able to help people, man. It's a real blessing, man. It does my heart some good, man, to see these brothers come in here. We as black men, we talk about wanting to help each other and stuff like that, but a lot of times we, it's just talking. And so for me, it's been a blessing. And I promise you, this ain't something that I expected. My very first class, I was talking, and then I said, "Hey, man, you want to learn IT? Hit me up, man. Just hit me up, man." And then they hit me up. Next thing you know, I was teaching. I was like, "Oh my God!" I wasn't playing, but I didn't think nobody's gonna take me serious, and they did. And some of those people that took me serious, you just heard them. That was like one of my first students that spoke. So that's what I'm talking about. Those people changed everything, and I kept doing it. Ready to quit. I said, "This is my last class." And then my lady, she was like, "Look, maybe God's trying to show you that this is something you can grow." So, and here we are today. I'm trying to grow it, trying to, I want to be successful. I want to be big, just like everybody else. But you know what? I'm okay with just serving the black community, serving black people, specifically black men, helping black men get on. And just like George Washington Carver wouldn't leave Tuskegee when, Henry Ford offered him, not Henry Ford, Thomas Edison offered him $100,000, which would have been like $10 million today. He decided to stay. And so today we, that's
he had that Deion Sanders swag though. That's what.
George Washington Carver. George Washington Carver was able to. I learned a lot from going there. He built his first lab out of like the trash can. They didn't even have. He just took some scraps and built his first lab. It was amazing, bro. Like that spirit of just that individual, like entrepreneurial self-starter. I kind of want to apply that to my school to not just say, "Hey, get a job," but hey, go start your own corporation. When you get paid, make sure they pay the check to the corporation. Get you a NAC. I forget the numbers that you have to get with the government. I have somebody come in and speak to the students from time to time about getting and obtaining a government numbers and certifications with the government and stuff like that. There's somebody I have that comes in and talks to the classes. to teach the students. And I've taught students, and they've been able to go out and, get jobs and do what they got to do. And they starting their own corporations and stuff like that. And I got one student that's even talking about starting a bid for like government contracts. He's been working for about 4 years now. And he's putting in on government contracts. And if you know about Prince George's County, Maryland, it's the richest black county in America because those black people are the people that get these government contracts. And I mean, it's nothing. A $12 million, $15 million contract is cheap. And the funny thing about IT, if you get a $12 million contract from the government, probably chances are you can get it done for $8 million. And that's paying people very well. I've seen it. I've seen people get contracts with Khaki, General Dynamics, and they hire people, and the guy sitting there home getting like $3-4 million off the contract. He didn't touch anything. Wow. This is how you start, but you got to start with working a couple of projects, build a track record, because that's what the government wants to see. But I have somebody that comes to the classes and talks to you guys free of charge. Of course, she charges for the skill set to actually go and set that up. But she set me up. I just haven't been just submitting for contracts. So
good stuff. Good stuff. Technobility in the building, he says, and he's taking it back to what he was talking about. Some people brought up the racism involved in it. We kind of passed that, but that's what he's mentioning in the super chat here. But he says I'm a VCIO and have seen very little bit of racism, maybe getting execs to buy in, etc. But the bag is always there with what Sub is speaking on. He's the truth. Salesforce is a monster for the bag. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate
Thanks, Technobility. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Can I also say something?
Light Bearer, hold on. Light Bearer Council in the building says, think finance. You can combine Python, ML, and SQL. I think it's called SQL. I don't be even knowing some of the terms, but he says and make trading bots. I am an exception. I went to a CC. Rather my money to another black man and rotate the funds. I think he means rather give my money to another black man and rotate the funds at least once in the community. Absolutely. I'm with that. Dane C in the building says, I understand the black end designed. I understand the back end design and the financial opportunities being greater, but sometimes it's about where people general interest is, i.e. front end. What you think about that, Sub?
The Asians, there's a guy by the name of Dan Locke. Dan Locke puts a video out 7 days a week. He's a multi-millionaire. I think he's Japanese or from Thai or something like that. He says, look, they have a saying in their language, and it basically translates to follow the money, not your passion. I think, you got plenty of black people going to college majoring in childhood education, psychology, sociology, criminal justice, and then they wind up working at a gas station so for me, after having spoke to so many black people that followed their passion, if you are interested in something and it can pay as well, if you can get the best of both worlds, then go for it. But if not, I have a confession. I don't love IT. If it was up to me, I would not touch another computer. You know what I'm saying? That's the God honest gospel truth. But guess what? If I can make $20,000 a month sitting at home in my underwear, I can go be off the coast of, Miami down there on South Beach somewhere out there in Fort Lauderdale Beach, sitting with my lady. We chilling. They got my son. We at an Airbnb or something. That's a comfortable lifestyle. So for me, it's not it's like, look, it's about the lifestyle it affords me. It's not about loving to sit there and code and try to figure stuff out. I can do it though, and I can teach you how to do it. And if you want that comfortable lifestyle, reach out to me.
Can I say something on that stuff?
Yeah, go ahead, Landreas.
Yeah, so you can definitely learn the front end, but what we pretty much specialize in is the back end. But there are people that actually do both, and that's where they actually call them full stack developers. So you can actually start with something with our program. It's dirt cheap. You can't beat it. A lot of those other academies, they're probably around 15,000 plus. So you really can't beat $300 a month there. So if you're interested in the front end, that's fine. I would say this is a good a good starting point if you actually want to take this course first, and then you can actually fund, learning some other skill sets like the front end, and you'll be that much more valuable to your company.
Yeah, Deanie in the building with $2 super chat. I do appreciate that. He says, "Is this classroom led instruction or a self study?"
It's classroom led. However, you have to study. I always tell you a minimum of 45 minutes a day, 5 days a week. And you see somebody just, I think it was Charles and Landreas. I'm sure they put in 2 hours a day themselves. And all my students that get jobs, everybody. I've never seen anybody get a job that didn't study an hour and a half a day. You have to put the time. It's only 5-6 months, but if you put those, just trust me. If you just trust me, do what I tell you. I cannot guarantee jobs, right? But what I can guarantee is you'll be on these interviews, you'll be in the running, you'll be competent, you'll know what they're talking about. And if you're there, you're literally so close you can taste it. From there, it's just the right opportunity. I can't control every variable, like, who you're interviewing with or what the other person said in the interview that may have stood out better, or so I don't make guarantees, right? I'm not saying, oh, I guarantee you. I don't say that. What I say is, look, I'm gonna make you competent. You're gonna know what you're talking about, and I'm not gonna hit you across the head for $50,000 for $15,000 like I paid. There's a place called New Horizons just to teach all three of these skills. You're looking at about $7,000 for all three, and we're teaching them for a fraction of that. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about making you competent where you can get on these interviews. Your phone's gonna ring. That's one thing we can probably almost guarantee. I don't make any guarantees, but I could almost guarantee that your phone's gonna ring. If I put the right things on your resume, you're gonna get a phone call. They're gonna call you and want to know who you are, what you know, and they're gonna start submitting you to clients. When they do that, you're probably gonna get an interview if you follow directions. If you get the interview, I always tell my students, record the damn interview. If you do that, we can win. Because what happens is you get on an interview, you screw up, or you might do well. And I'll be like, you messed this one up, and this is why.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell the students the truth. And I know you can ask Azriel, you can ask Landreas. They've heard me do interviews in front of students, and the student will be there, and the other class will be listening. And I'll be like, man, you're probably not going to get this job because you said this, you said that, and that means they probably going to think you're a junior developer, which means they're probably going to want someone more senior, so you're probably not going to get this one. Next time, say this. Don't say this because that makes it seem as though you don't know what you're talking about. Say it this way. If they ask you something that you don't know, say, I don't know. However, I'll take a stab at it. If you want, don't guess. Don't let them think that you're guessing and you don't know. Say, I'm not really sure, but, and then say what you got to say. Those little nuances are the difference between winning and losing in an interview. Go ahead.
Speaking on that, I want to say this. It's almost like having a coach, and the next day it's like you're looking at game film, right? You're looking at where you could have went wrong, where you did right, where you did wrong, and literally all you're doing is revising it. So it's like it's almost like having a cheat code and knowing what to say. And a lot of the times, more often than not, majority of the times they're going to be giving you the same questions. They're gonna be like, okay, what is a CTE? How do you create a select clause or where clause? How do you do so and so? Like, do you know this kind of syntax? So on and so forth. It gets to the point where if you study the interviews of other prior students, when you get to it, you'll be like, oh, this is easy. Because I'm looking at some of the questions, I'm like, I'm telling you, a lot of the stuff we learned in the first month, I've seen interviewees ask people on the jobs, and these jobs are starting out like $40 to $45 an hour. So imagine you're learning something in the first month, and that alone is just what the interviewees are going to be teaching you, or the interviewers are going to be asking you. So that's like, all you got to do is just pay attention,
Look, I've had students actually get through the course. They would take it. I've had students come and take the course 2 or 3 times. In the last time they get it, and they wind up getting jobs. And they did, but they were lazy. They didn't study. They didn't do what I told them. But what happened If you take it 3 or 4 times, which I'm not advising you to do, I'm advising you to take it one time, follow instructions, you'll be okay. And oh, by the way, once the class is over, we do interviews. I unsubscribe you, so I don't take your money past after class. Once the very last day of class, I have to pay the instructor, obviously, but after the very last day of class, we cancel all subscriptions, and you still can log in, obviously, until that last little pay period is up. But that last subscription, after that, you got my phone number. I go to Facebook group. Everybody's in the Facebook group. That's where I introduce you to all the old students. You get to know everybody, and you're able to come in and start doing what you got to do with those students. They can help you, and then we do interviews. And I come in that Facebook group. I go live. This is the Facebook group right here. Let me show it to you. But the Facebook group, I go live, and I didn't shit. Is my
that's on here? No, it's still. I still got it shared in the back. I just can drop it down at any moment and bring it back up at any moment.
Okay. Well, yeah. If you go in here, these are the Facebook groups. We have a Salesforce group. This is my SQL Server group right here. This group, this is a newer group. This is the newer one. The older group, okay, I don't have the old one on here. The old group is like probably about 400 students. This group is smaller. This is a smaller group. I got about 4 or 5 different groups. So we have different groups for each class, but I introduce everybody after the class is over. I don't introduce you while the class is going. You might get to know some of the instructors, but after the class is over, I want you guys to learn on your own. Then you get introduced to everybody. You learn everybody's name. And then when I go live, what I tend to do then when I go live, I say, hey guys, I'll be doing interviews Wednesday night, 8:00. And I'll have students log in free. I don't charge a dime. So you can interview with me. I've got students interviewing with me. They hadn't paid me in years. Like some of these students, they got jobs, haven't been paying customers in a minute. But they go and they interview. I don't charge them a dime. I help them with. I literally, hey man, do your resume. They call, they ask questions. I review the interviews free of charge. Don't charge a dime. All I charge for is the instruction. That's it. Once you get in, and I give you access I give you the links to everything, so you can keep coming back after the class is over. After you're not paying anymore. And I don't care. I'm not trying to hit you across the head. Once I get 3 or 4 months out, you do what you got to do. We pay the instructors. We're an ongoing family now. You're part of a family. So we tend to try to, keep you around. I don't be like, hey man, give me some money, man. Yeah, I need money for this. Hey, you want to interview? I do it. Hey, I need help with installing my software, man. I got a new laptop. All right, man, hit me up about 10:00, man. We'll get on there and see what's up. I do it all the time. I have old students come back and ask me questions after class. Hey, sub, you mind if I get the link and jump in there tonight? I got a question. Yeah, come on, man. I don't charge a dime for that. I do that for free. You know what I'm saying? All we charge for is, of course, the instruction, and we have to.
Yeah. Yeah, no, good stuff. Well, shout out to Sir Tice earlier, sent the cash up. I think I already thanked him or shouted him out for that. But Stacker Starve just came through, dropped a $50 cash app on it. Says, thank you for the information, brother. Absolutely. And thank you for the cash app. And no, there's definitely some good information. Appreciate everybody who's supporting the stream. But make sure y'all clicking the links. The links should be spammed. I think Jackie is spamming the link to Sub-Zero's website out through the chat room. I just dropped it again right there. So that link should be through there. If you're finding some value in this information, definitely pursue forward. I'm pretty sure Sub-Zero's email information, perhaps a phone number, all of that is available on the website somewhere. You can contact the man directly. He's very they've already told you. His students have told you. He's very reachable, touchable. You can reach out to him. He will answer the call. He'll talk to you. So these cuts in the building says, is that like working with Oracle data analytics?
Data analytics is just basically analyzing data, slicing, dicing the data, different ways to obtain facts about your information. That could be Oracle, that could be SQL, that could be spreadsheets. I mean, it could be an Excel spreadsheet. It could be, it's just analyzing the data. That's not necessarily Oracle. My brother taught Oracle financials. I'm very ignorant about Oracle financials. I know it's accounts payables, accounts receivables. He went through all 12 modules. And that's, my brother's a little, let me tell you about my brother. My brother's a little bit more no nonsense. So he's the type that once he teaches you, that's it. He'll tell you what to do one time. After that,
I
he's not gonna call you. He's not,
I
So I
hate
had a
those.
student call me like,
I
"Hey
hate
man,
those.
I hadn't heard
I hate
from him."
those teachers. No, go ahead. But no. I just interrupt to say this. I hate those teachers because I know I need to be told a few times. I gotta hear it a few times before it just sink into my brain. So yeah, I can't stand those. I told you
Yeah,
once.
I'm that guy that's gonna tell you.
Yes.
I'm gonna
Thank you.
tell you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna tell you 50 times. Now the thing is,
Thank you. That's what
I
I like.
respect that though because I can't because I call. Hey man, I thought, man, didn't I tell you? Remember when I said it? Yeah, you did. Remember when I said this? Yeah. Did you do it? Nope. Well,
I
that's why you
forgot.
failed. I'm like, well, did you do this? No, you didn't. So that's why I had to, like my brother, once I got in, though, he was a wealth of knowledge. Now he's very, he's like I say, he's been making over $250,000 just off one job. Like he doesn't,
Yeah.
if he gets 2 jobs, he'll make $400,000, like 500,000, something like he will make that money in a year. That's how he does it. But he usually
Big
just
bro
works
has
one
no
job.
students.
Yeah,
he don't
he
retain no
works.
students. He like.
Well, once he teaches you, I'm gonna tell the truth. Once my brother teaches you, that's it. But look, man, we have a network of people to help you. So it's not just
right.
that. We're not even doing Oracle right now anyway. So that was just a side note. But we're not even really doing the Oracle class right now anyway. So.
But I must say, Oracle is still on the self-study course. I'm looking at it right now. As soon as I get it, because as soon as I get off, I'm going back to studying for like 2 hours before I head out to work. Because I gotta get this job like before the springtime. Because some already know my situation. I'm trying to move. I'm trying to move out of the state that I'm in. I'm trying to move out West Coast, and you have to be honest with you, to be feasible to work anywhere. You gotta. To be on the West Coast, talking about LA, Los Angeles, California, you got to be making between 80 to 100K to live a decent lifestyle, So this is my gateway ticket, personally.
Yeah, that West Coast. I don't know how y'all do it on the West. Maybe I guess the jobs pay more, but when I be finding out that it costs $2,500 for a 1-bedroom hole in the wall apartment, I be like, man, yeah, that's crazy over there. I don't even understand it.
The very first time.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was saying the very first time somebody offered me like 70, more than 70, like 70, that was like $75 an hour, was a job in San Diego. My son was just born. And it was a job in San Diego. They wanted, they were going to let me live on like a Coast Guard ship. And I was going to be working. And my brother, the one set it up. And my brother was like, hey man, I got this guy I want you to talk to. And the guy's like, hey, can you come out here? And I had just had a newborn. I was like, no, I can't. But it was 70. That was like, for me, that was like $3,000 a week. I was like, wow. At the time, I was like, I had never made that kind of money. Even though I had been I make 2,000, but I felt like 3,000 was a lot more. So, once you get north of 5 years, you can take your rate up. You can take, my students really are 2 years. When you leave the course, you right in that 2 to 3 year range, according to your resume, right? Air quotes, right? But what happens is, if you work 2 years, usually students that get 2 years in, man, it's nothing for them to get 150, 160. I mean, the only thing is, a lot of times they stay at their jobs, but if they wanted to, they could easily get that 140,000, 150. Specifically, if you're willing to learn more, if you're willing to learn more certifications, which is why I myself am going into the Microsoft Azure data engineering course, because what I'm doing, and I'm going to start offering that, because for me with 13, 14 years experience, man, one job is $250. I'm trying to get 2.
Uh-oh.
So if I get one, I'm going to get one, work it, then I'll get a second job, and then I'll be at $500,000 a year. That's what we need. When we talk about winning black men, that's the type of money we need to be making league minimum around here. Like that's the type of money we need to be trying to get to. And that with that amount of money, when I'm making $40,000, $50,000 a month, I can go out and start building houses. I can start.
Oh yeah.
I told you I don't want to really do IT like that. So I'll do houses. You're like, well, why are you teaching it if you don't want to do it? I'm teaching it as a tool or a skill to make you $10,000 a month. Yeah. That's what I'm offering you. Now, I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I've owned a comedy club. I played basketball overseas. I promoted promoted concerts. I've done a lot of different things. I did a fashion week in New York as a model. I've done all types of stuff. But when it's all said and done, the whole thing boils down to, look, man, you have to fund. You need tax returns. You need to make enough money where when you walk in the bank and you're trying to borrow some money, you got enough down payment, you got the credit score, you got the credit history, you pay your bills on time, you're not struggling. If you're making $40,000, that's kind of hard to get.
Yeah. Yeah. Too cool for school in the building says, peace, family. How ironic. I just checking out. I think it means, but y'all be messing me up now. I be sounding like I'm hooked on phonics, but y'all be leaving out whole words in the sentence and be having me fumbling. I already need glasses. Shit. Get it right. But anyway, shout out to Too School for School. That's my guy. I'm messing with it. But he says, peace, family. How ironic. I think he means I was just checking Sub-Zero out on, just checking Sub-Zero out on Erica Williams' channel for his interview, buying the course soon. That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear. His brother said he's getting on there buying the course. I think the class start, I think on the 23rd of this month. So, isn't that accurate?
Next Monday.
Sub-Zero,
Next Monday.
Oh,
next
next
Monday, I'll be
yes.
there. We're gonna go into We're gonna go into Azure. You need a laptop. You do need a laptop. But I'm gonna stop having the students download the software. What we're gonna do is you're just gonna download a client, connect to the database through Azure. So you're gonna get your own database through Microsoft Azure, and you'll be able to connect to that, and that's what you're gonna take the class with.
All right. The Clue Channel in the building says, do y'all have a course in regular expressions for my sequel?
No, I do not.
I love when I do an IT show and people ask questions that I don't even understand. That just tells me that brothers are out here doing shit. So go ahead and answer him.
Well, let me say this. Now, SQL, I learned when I first learned SQL, I learned PL SQL. I didn't learn T SQL, Transact SQL, which is Microsoft SQL. So now I work with Teradata every day, and I work with in the other job I work with SQL Server, which is T SQL. So learning one SQL allows you to easily migrate into another. The everything's pretty much the same. Select from where. That works in every SQL language. And then from there, you just have to learn the different constructs and the variations within those constructs of the language of SQL. But once you learn SQL, you can confidently go get a job working with Google BigQuery. You can work with Teradata. You can work with MySQL. You can work with whatever. I've been on a job and ran some MySQL queries, but it wasn't like intense. And it was, I never had any problems. I jumped right in and was coding and looking at the stored procedures. I understood everything, which is what I try to teach you how to do, is to look at these stored procedures, break them down into sections, understanding performance tuning, commenting out everything, and then running a test to see if you can find a bottleneck that's causing performance issues. We run SQL Suite. What is it? We run traces with SQL Server Profiler. We use the execution manager to get a visual representation of how the query optimizer chose to execute the query. So this is what we do, and I tell you how to say those things on interviews, and then people become impressed because they say, "Oh, okay, so this is a competent person. They understand how to read this, how to do this, how to do that." A lot of people just know how to run a script. A lot of people don't know. They may be developers, but they may not know the under the hood things that are going on. They just know how to get the job done. I try to teach you the under the hood stuff too.
All right. It says, shout out to Little Big Nate right there. It says Sub-Zero School is a new tech school for the Manosphere meetup. I don't know if you want to get into that or talk or touch on that or talk on that. What's going on?
Shout out to Little Big Nate. Yeah, we gonna be there.
Yeah.
We I'm definitely going. I love the last Manosphere meetup. It was a blast. I think I met you in person for the first time.
Oh yeah. That's when we met in person.
Yep, and I had a blast, bro. That was one of the best times. I met Hoop Jargon. I met Sir Tice. I met some, man. It's like a fraternity, man. We met up, and you just want to get around some like-minded brothers. Ain't nobody on no street shit, and it wasn't any of that, man. Everybody had a good time. I met Minister Jap, had a good conversation with him. You want to go to the Manosphere meetup? I'm gonna be there, so I'm coming. I talked to a Little Big Nate about being one of the sponsors. I don't have no problem with that, but like I said, man, if you want to be around some like-minded black men that are trying to build that on a positive tip, that's where you want to be. You want to be at the Manosphere meetup.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. I think I had to check with Nate on this, but if I remember correctly, I think Jap, Mr. Palmer. I think those are some of the names that we can that early on right now we know is going to be there. I think. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. I'll double check with Nate on that, but I think those are the names that will be at the next one. But yeah, but no, definitely good stuff. Definitely good stuff right there.
And I
Let's
see a
see.
question real quick. Somebody asked me, do we deal with Python? I just dabbled in Python a little bit with Power BI, but we don't teach it outright yet. I have somebody that says she's going to take a stab at it, but I want to make sure me and her got to talk and make sure everything's on the up and up and we know what we're talking about because we don't want y'all looking bad. But we're coming. It's coming. I'm offering different disciplines. I only started out at first with SQL, SSIS, and SSRS at first. We did Oracle, we did Salesforce. Now we're doing Tableau, and we're going to go into even cybersecurity. We go into a lot of different disciplines. So just bear with us. It's coming.
All right, I am WAF in the building. I am WAF in the building. Says, what part of the course do you recommend for a beginner?
Data analytics.
Okay.
That's real easy. And the reason I do that is because I've been teaching for years, and I was teaching the whole full developer with the ETL packages, and that was too hard for the students. Right now, everybody could do SSRS reports, and I think Azrael can attest to this, and Landreas. Every time we had interviews, students did well with the SSRS piece. It was always SSIS that held people back. We've removed that. That's the one we removed, and now we're adding Tableau and data analytics, and we're going to do Power BI. So those are the disciplines we're offering.
However, I want to say, don't let that stop you. Don't let it stop you, because if I'm looking at it correctly, because I'm literally on it right now. As soon as I get off this, I'm about to start studying. You have SSIS and then the SSRS, and then you have the T-SQL. And each of them, like the T-SQL one is like 48 videos, like mini videos. The SSIS is 63 videos. But if you just put in the work, you can get it. It's slightly more difficult, but with anything, it's like repetition is the mother of skill, right? You'll get it. It just takes some time.
Mm-hmm.
In my assessment.
All right, Ryan Decipher in the building with the $50 super chat. Do appreciate you. He says, just showing support. Salute to Sub and his class. Skeegy boys in the building. Shout out and salute.
What up? What up? The T, the U. Oh, my bad. That's our thing, man. You know, we getting that shed, boy. That was the best times of my life, boy. Tuskegee. I'm telling you.
Right on. But
so
no,
can you I was
Go
gonna say, can you tell them about the story when they told you to pack up your things, and then that was like on a Monday, and then by what happened at the end of that week?
Oh yeah. So I was on a project with a guy, white gentleman, and me and him were cool at first, and I knew he was trying to get me fired after a while. It was a full-time job. I was making about 80, and he was setting me up. He wouldn't tell me stuff, and I would do it, and then he would come back and, oh, you didn't do it right, and that type of stuff. The final day, they had the police there. I come in, go to my desk. Hey, come on in the back. We want to talk to you. I go in there. They're like, oh, we're going to let you go. We need you to sign this document. I'm mad. I'm like, because the final strike that he used was something that he did, not me. And they wouldn't even let me go to my computer to show what happened. I said, you know what? Screw it. So the cop was there. I was like, okay, well, look, I'm going to leave. I signed it. I'll leave or whatever. And look, this doesn't happen all, but the police was there. So I only got escorted out twice. Now, the reason they do that, let me explain, because people get, oh, Lord, this is the systemic oppression, racism. No, it's not. What happens is people have gone postal historically in the 80s for all you young cats out here. A guy had a situation at the post office. He got terminated, came back and killed a lot of people. So that's why they say so-and-so's going postal. So when usually now they terminate people in certain instances, if they don't know, it's just standard operating procedure for them to have the cops in certain corporate environment, not all of them. So with me, I'm like, look, man, I ain't finna touch nobody. You tell me I'm gone, right? So I go home. I'm mad. I get a call later that day while I'm at the gym. Guys like, yeah, we want you to interview for this position. It's paying, 100,000, 110, something like that. So, okay. I interviewed for the position. One interview that was like, I got let go like Monday, Tuesday, something like that. The interview was probably Thursday or Friday. As soon as I did the interview, the guy calls me back. Hey, they love you. They want you to start soon. Can you start next week? I said, yeah, give me a 2-week notice. So literally in 4 or 5 days or a week later, I was making, $30,000 more in a job. And it was a nice project, everybody. We got along well. It was cool. And I was happy because I'm like, man, but it's all because of the skill set. See, a lot of times African Americans will get in these jobs and we'll be making $50 or $40 at a factory or something. Well, guess what? You get fired, you get terminated, something happens, they shut down, you get let go. Where you gonna go make $40, $50 an hour if you work at a plant? Now you got to start from scratch at $15 an hour again, like you 18 years old again. You might be in your 40s. When you have a skill set, you don't have those problems. Because like a nurse can get let go and go anywhere in the world and get a job making just as much, if not more. A doctor can get let go. That's what we're offering you. That skill set, like the doctor, the nurse, you're skilled. You have a skill set, and it comes with a certain level of amount of money that's coming. So, but yeah, if you want to share the screen, I was looking for Power BI.
Yeah. I didn't know. I saw you changing some stuff down there. I didn't know if you were just personally browsing or if that was something related to the show that you was trying to show.
I was looking at something, but I did want to share this Power BI developer.
All right, cool.
Jobs lookup. So, like I said, every skill set we offer pays. So, this is another one. Power BI. Let's see if I can find Power BI developer. Here's one: 105 to 133, 106 to 134, 99 to 126. Contract. Power BI application developer 105 to 186. As you can see, we're not trying to get you no job where you making no little 70,000. If it have I had a few students make 70,000? Yes, I have. I had one make 65. I take that back. I had one make 65.
That's still higher than
other than that,
yeah. I was gonna say it's still higher than a black man's median income, so that's still a start. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and the guy that's making 65 gets calls for 100,000 routinely, but he just took the first job he could get, and it was just so happened they gave him 65,000. Cool. What I'm saying is, you can get this skill set, work, and then jump out there. If you want to go do something else, you want to get into trucking, whatever you want to do. I know a guy that I worked on a project with when I was working on the Obamacare database years ago. And I remember this guy was in the truck and he was always outside on the phone talking to his people. And I sat and talked to him. This dude was buying trucks. He had bought like 4 trucks. He was just buying them. He'll buy a truck he was making good money. He'll buy a truck every 3-4 months. He said, man, I'm trying to get up to a fleet of about 10 trucks and I'm just going to quit. And I'm gonna just focus on trucks, man. I'm just trying to get, I'm just managing it, making sure everything go right, make sure they getting the right loads. And my wife is running it from home, but every once in a while I got to go outside and get on. I said, oh man, that's nice. This guy funded this whole thing. He said, man, I funded it through my job. I bought an old truck. My cousin worked on trucks. I got it rebuilt. That's my first truck. We put it out, and from there we just started rolling. And now he was up to like 4, and I'm sure he probably didn't quit by now. But because that was like 2013, so I'm sure he's quit by now. So
I wanted to mention the reason why I was asking you about about your example, right? Because that made me think when it comes to people saying, "Oh, there's racism at the job." Sometimes you got to differentiate, like you said before. Sometimes you're gonna deal with a-holes. It's not necessarily them being racist. Like, yeah, you might have racism there, but like somebody had mentioned before, too, people have type A personalities there, and people will have little, I don't want to say on a spectrum, but they have little quirks about them that might rub you the wrong way, especially if you're coming from a culture where
that project. Let me say this: that project happened. Now that I've been in the game for a while, that was a bad project, and the reason it was there were fires every other day. I mean, literally, production would go down, and they would be running back from lunch to fix it. Like, this is the type of, because what happened, the guy that let me go learned SQL while building the database and didn't know what he was doing and built it to where it breaks all the time. So our jobs was to fix his screw ups. And so he had been elevated over the whole department because they hired him when they first started. And so he built that whole IT department. He knew his stuff by then, but it was too late because you built a flawed system. And so everybody was in there trying to come back and fix his stuff. And I remember working with this girl from Howard University. She was working across from me named Angela. And they used to get into it every day because she was really good. This sister was good. And she would be saying stuff. It's like, no, that's not going to work because your performance is going to go down. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't. And she would be correcting him every day. And he just got upset. But he was I'm going to be honest with you. When I first got there, he was a nice guy. I don't think it was race. I just think he was an asshole. He didn't want to take responsibility for screwing up. Eventually, he got fired, but not before he got me fired. So it is what it is.
I'll say this about that. When it comes to black people saying that this white person at the job is racist, this has been fairly consistent with me. Whenever the black people at the job is saying, "No, I don't like him. We don't like him. He racist," I'll be like, "Yeah, I do know that the white people on the job don't like that motherfucker either, right? Yeah, I do know that, right? Like nobody likes him.
True.
he ain't racist. He's an asshole. Like we tend to not understand that. We want to call it systemic oppression because somebody's a jackass and we don't like them. But when you really look at the big picture, don't nobody like them. That's just that. So
true.
A lot of times we get just too much, into
that's what happened.
That.
The people that were over me, I was the guy that was over them. I used to go in there and talk to him. He knew the guy was screwing up, but when they let me go, he was off. The guy knew what he was doing. He's like, I can't let him go when so and so's here because he's gonna probably look out for him because the guy liked me, and I explained my situation to this guy and showed him the whole situation when he was gone. The other guy that fired me was going on vacation. And I took him and set his higher ups down and explained, look, this is what I was doing. When I got wrote up, this wasn't fair. This is why, this is that. And so they brought the HR lady in there and she was like, well, yeah, we probably need to have some sort of meeting. He came back. The other guy was on vacation and wrote me up twice in like 2 weeks. And so it was nothing,
he was
like, man, this dude.
He was like a male Karen, right? So he was like a male Karen.
Basically. He was just getting on my last nerves. Actually, I was relieved. I got let go. Man, I was living a comfortable life. I saved all my money. I had plenty of money in the bank. Got some drinks, chill. I took 3 weeks and just decompressed, went to the gym, worked out. Went back to Alabama for a while, hung out with my family, and went back to work, man. And it was nothing. But now I don't even go in anymore. So it's actually easier to work from home than it is to work in the office once you know what you're doing. Because the personalities clash a lot of times, oftentimes when you're in the office, looking people in the face. That's when, and being an African-American guy over 6 feet, depending on certain instances, you have to be careful because it is not race. It's not necessarily racism, but it's also people's just their own, just people in general I've gotten into it with black people. It's not, you know what I'm saying? So it's not, okay, I hate you because you're a black person. No, it's people not going to get along. I had to learn that. At first I was coming, when I first got in, they racist, man. They racist. And then my brother was like, look, man, did you screw up? Yep. It's your fault. You can't get mad at him. You didn't do this. You didn't. I was like, so me and him got in these knockdown, drag out arguments. Then I would calm down and be like, he right.
One of the worst, most lying, sabotaging, talking to the manager behind your back. Man, I don't even feel like telling the story. I'd be too long telling the story. Like it was I was working on an assembly line. It was something that you got basically. He would mess stuff up on purpose so it can come down and then sit back and hope you don't catch it. But he'll mess it up, but like hide it to the point to where it is not. Well, I ain't about to get into the details of it. This dude was black. He was an old black man who used to kiss the ass of the supervisor. The supervisor at one point was a black man, then it was a white man, then it was a black woman, then it was a white woman because we went through a lot of supervisors. Ain't matter who the supervisor was. He was like homeboy in Django who used to. I forgot the guy's name in Django. Y'all know Sam Jackson.
Steven.
He was like Steven in Django. couldn't stand. Yeah, couldn't nobody stand this dude. He was black and
Let
he's
me say this:
being
the guy
there.
said the brother up top said I was sugarcoating for the white man. Listen, bro.
Man, man,
listen,
come
man.
on.
Let me say this, bro. And I gotta say this. Look, man, I can care less. Long as my check clear, I have a saying. I don't want to say it on this channel. I'm gonna keep this a PG channel. But I'm just gonna say this, man. Like, I'm not up here dwelling on racism and white supremacy. That, like, to me, my
That is
thing is I
holding us
try to
back.
I empower my students to put their foot to the ass of white supremacy. Like, I've ran into plenty of white people that couldn't stand my ass. Probably racist as hell. I have run into racist white people. I'm not lying. I just think in that particular instance, I don't think it was race. I think he was just a bitch and didn't want to take responsibility for screwing up, and he was looking for a scapegoat, and he made me the scapegoat. That's what happened. And that's what a white person that works there said when I called back, because I build relationships with people, secretaries, people all over in different departments, and everybody. I know a lot of people. I got their numbers in my phone. I call, how you been? Yeah, they let so and so go, man. Him and so and so got into another white guy. Like, it's not race, and I'm sugarcoating or cooning for the white man. That's the thing. But you know what I always find very interesting? It's like, it's easy to talk revolutionary talk on the internet, right? Like, it's easy to say, oh, well, yeah, man, you cooning, you this, you that. But then when it comes down to it, I want to follow these people home, and I want to see you go into work on Monday and cuss your guy out, cuss out your boss, tell them crackers what you really feel. I want to see it. Most of the time, look, man, you play the game, you get your check, you stack up. That's what we're talking about. This is about empowerment of us. This is about you getting fired and getting another job making $30,000, $40,000 more, and telling them to kiss your black, you know what? You don't have to. So it's about a skill set and freedom. The freedom of it. Doubling up, making $250,000, 400,000, 500. Shout out to Theo. The brother makes 600,000 a year. Brother got 4 jobs, 5 jobs. That's what I'm talking about. Get as many as you can. If you can work them, work them. You working at home, you chilling. Yeah, it's a little stressful, but you making 20,000 a week, some or whatever kind of crazy money you can make.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's simple as this. People like you, like Theo, y'all are putting black men into positions. Like, that's what y'all are doing. Like, that's how you build and establish power. Like, right there. But some people would rather complain about the racism, and I'm like, no. Damn all of that. Get out there, roll your sleeves up, and compete. That's what I'm on. That's what it's about. That's how black men win. But shout out to Theo. He says, see Theo in the building. He says, shout out to Sub-Zero. He says, when my students want to learn database, I always refer them to you. Looking forward to many more black men entering IT. That's what it's all about. That's absolutely 100% what it's all about. Shout out to Theo.
Shout out to Theo. Thanks, brother. Thanks for the love, man.
Absolutely. Who else we got? Technobility back in here with another one. It says technology is the great equalizer. F racism. Get your bag, brothers. 100%. 100%. Christian Hutchinson in the building says at Sub-Zero, good resource. He says YouTube or otherwise for a crash course in MongoDB.
I really don't know, bro. I can't. That's something I have. I've gotten the first certification for Azure passed, and we were talking about APIs dealing with MongoDB, but that's about it. I really can't tell you specifics as it pertains to Mongo. But give me time. I know it quickly. I can easily get the information. I mean, if you want to email me, bg@ltvacademy.com, or just go on the website, schedule a consultation, type in there. It's going to ask you why you setting the consultation up. Tell me what you want. And then when I call you, I'll already have the information ready for you. We can talk about it.
Sounds good. Christian Hutchinson dropping something right there. And yes, absolutely. Hang out with Bernard Riley and a few fellow Black Manosphere bros at Barcade in Detroit for games and drinks January 23rd, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. No cover charge or fees. More info here at evite.me. Just click the link down there. It's in the chat room. Drop it in there one more time. Chris and Hudson, if y'all are in the Detroit area, we get together monthly. So come on through if you're in the Detroit area. And that's pretty much wrap it up. We said we were gonna do 1 hour. This ended up being real good. We stretched it out 2 hours. I'm glad we did. It was really good. A lot of good information. Hopefully people definitely, well, I know some people already said they signing up for the class, signing up for the course. So hopefully people hit the link, go to the website, check it out, set up a consultation. The link right there, the website is right there. I just put that right there. It is. So yeah, y'all go ahead and do that. But before we get up out of here, Sub-Zero, any closing thoughts, final words on this that you want to
Yeah,
impart
man.
to the brothers?
Yeah, just pray about it. And if you want to sign up for a consultation, I'm here. Don't worry about, you're not kissing up to the white man like they talking in the comments about, just because you're trying to get a skill set and that pays, triple, 4 times what you already make. That's not kissing up to the white man. That's called empowerment. I see white people work with each other and they can't stand each other every day. And so we need to, learn to build our own, economic strata through, learning to step aside from our emotions and just focus on building power, man. That's it. That's it. I thank you for the opportunity. Shout out to Theo. Shout out to Theo, Sir Tice. Shout out to Hoop Jargon. Shout out to all my students that show love. Everybody, man. And that's it, man. God bless y'all. Y'all have a blessed day.
Right on. Good stuff. Come on, y'all catch me right at the end of the show with a typo. You said there is a A missing in academy. I didn't even type out the word academy. What is he talking about? Hold on.
Let me see.
Or
LTV,
is he talking about? No, there's an A. I'm looking at it.
It's 2 of them, right? What, can you put it on the screen?
I'm trying to put it on the screen right now. So we can look on the screen and read it. www.
You missing a cat. Yeah.
Oh shit! I copied and pasted, so it must be.
Yeah. Hold on.
Okay, it was all right. I'm sorry. Well, shit.
Yeah,
okay,
that's the link right there. Let me just put this link up here. God dang, man. I typed it out myself, probably.
Yeah, I copied and pasted.
Somebody probably typed it in the back. It's nothing, man. I'm sorry. I apologize, guys. That's the link right there. So, can you put that up?
Yeah. I'm about to drop that right now. Yeah. Oh, you got a wrench.
And the other links have been correct too. I was trying to post it in the comments myself, but it wasn't showing over here in StreamYard for some reason. So.
Oh, okay.
But I was trying to post the comments.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Come on, y'all catch something like that. Yeah. Let me know.
Clue Channel.
Let me know sooner. But all right,
everybody was like, yeah, we're not going there. It's messing up. I was like, what's going on? But I apologize, guys. It's probably somebody typed it in the back. I don't know who. Maybe I did. It's because 3-4 people typed it up. So who knows? I apologize.
Yeah, there it is right there. Click on that one right there. There. There y'all go.
That'll take you right to the website to schedule your consult. Let's chop it up, man. Let's talk. I appreciate it, bro.
All right. Good stuff. There go the link. Make sure y'all click on that. There's a correct link. Hopefully somebody was posting the correct link in the chat room. I know a few people was posting it.
What's her face? What's her name? I think
yeah,
she was. She was doing it.
Yep, hers was correct. Okay, good. Yeah. So the correct one was out there. Yeah, mine was wrong the whole show, but Jackie Jack had it correct. Good stuff.
God damn, all right, man, I hate that. Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Oh no, I mean, hey, hopefully people. I can't even talk now. Hopefully people found their way there.
It's scrolling at the bottom.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. But all right, we about to get up out of here. But no, great show, and thank you everybody who came through, supported the stream in any way, shape, or form. Make sure you go and check out
to my YouTube channel.
Tell them, yes, go to his YouTube channel too.
Yeah, come over there if you want to, because I put the link. I cover stuff all the time. LTVacademy.com. But if not, it's Sub-Zero 3639. I've been around for a minute. I was in the Sunday Rumbles with O'Shea way back 5 years, 6 years ago. So I've been around, man. So if you guys want to get up with me, Sub-Zero 3639. That's it. One
All
word. Come hit me up.
All right. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. Peace. We gone.